up the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. I didn't expect it to go like this, but here we are. We're a little early. It's throwing the whole thing. Everything's thrown off kilter now. My voice is still in the crapper, but at least Notre Dame's winning by a lot. That's all I got. What do you want? I'm not going to wait until we South Florida ourselves on this or something. Hey, my voice is coming back. It's a little better than I thought it would be. It's a little better than I thought it would be. Spread the word. Anybody you know that likes this show or whatever, and they're waiting for the game to come back, and then we'll be done. Whatever. We're just going to do it now. Why not? Notre Dame's winning by a lot. Oh, I just feel, for one, I'm just glad I could talk a little bit. It's not perfect. The voice is still struggling, but I could talk a little bit. We'll see if there's some phone calls here, and we'll give it to the callers. The game is not over. I'm just glad Notre Dame's winning by a lot. Slow start, the Notre Dame way. Slow start at home, the Notre Dame way. But we're winning by a lot. And it's just refreshing to see. Okay? It's just refreshing to see. So, whatever. Is it the prettiest thing in the world? No, it isn't the prettiest thing in the world. Is there a lot of parts of this team that are still not good enough? Yes, I think that's true. But Notre Dame's kicking the crap out of an inferior opponent at home. Isn't that what you want? It's a good day in Notre Dame land. It's a good day in Notre Dame land. I don't know what's up with all of the special teams. I don't understand. What's the deal with this kicker? 786, I see ya. We'll go right to you first and foremost. What is the deal with, they're saying our kicker is no longer the kicker, or he got pulled, or what's the deal with that? And then that punter is still bothering me. 70 yards, but he never really does. The slow start still bothers me. I don't understand why we got to start slow at home every single week. I don't get it. But Notre Dame's kicking the crap out of this team. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Sid Irish, there's never anything wrong. There's never anything wrong with saying Notre Dame's kicking the crap out of somebody, and it's awesome. And there's a lot of areas where the team's nowhere near good enough and still needs to get better. Totally. I don't understand anybody that could think that's not fair. So, great job. Glad it's a blowout. Glad we're not sweating it out through the break, and this isn't going to turn into a South Florida situation and all this kind of stuff. Good job. Replay the game. That Burnham, the tip to himself. What a beautiful play. What just an absolute beautiful play. The tip to himself, that's an athletic play to be long enough. Get out there. Mark with glasses says, my dog can punt it 24 yards. Which leg of the four does he use to do it? Which of the four? B Bean saying, watch out for the karma. Telling you, wouldn't it be the most Notre Dame thing? What if you lose? You're up 42. You're up by this amount, and then you end up blowing it. I don't want to trip us up with that. Yeah, weather. It's a weather situation. And lightning in the area, so the game is on hold, and I don't know how long it's going to be or whatever. So I don't want to jinx us, but I think we got this one under control whenever it comes back. But man, that tip was awesome. Yeah, the Clemson tip. Wasn't that a Clemson, the tip there by JOK? So really athletic play, way to get out there. Well, glad he's on the mend and coming back and all this stuff. Tom says, remember the last lightning delay against Skips USF. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare that was. It's still one of the worst Notre Dame days of my entire life. It is literally still one of the worst Notre Dame days I've ever had. 786. Let's get it going. $5 holler. 786 says I was there. What did you get? Did you get out of here and get out early or what? Let's go. 786. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. What do we got? We got a little South Florida action going on or what?
Yeah, I lived in South Florida for a little bit while I was in school, but I'm from Ohio. But we drove out to Notre Dame, me and a buddy, to watch Notre Dame today.
Well, what'd you think, man? Nice weather right up until it wasn't. It seemed like a beautiful day right up till the end here.
Yeah, we actually ended up leaving at halftime, but I would say from the beginning of the game, it's like you said, the slow start where the defense isn't doing really much. The offense can't do anything. We target Bo Collins, I think, like 4 or 5 times in a row, and we don't run. We're just doing things we're not really all that good at, which is kind of interesting. And then we also have to play against the referees, which was horrible the entire game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of complaints. A lot of complaints about the refereeing.
But it was nice in there. The atmosphere, I think, was pretty loud. I was just at an Ohio State game 2 weeks ago, and I think the atmosphere in there was just as loud as Ohio State, especially when, we needed to be loud on 3rd and 4th downs when they would go for it on 4th down every single time for some reason. But
yeah. So, okay.
Overall,
let me ask this, man. Why do you think it is that Notre Dame starts out slow at home every single week? Like, I'm giving them credit. I'm glad. Listen, I want to cover this. I'm glad we're winning by a lot. We played better than we usually play. I'm covering the positive. I'm thrilled. It looks like we're gonna win by a lot. However, it's still not okay to me that you start slow every single home game. Why, man? Why?
It must just be the game plan. I think maybe Denbrock did the same thing that Tommy Boy would do, where he would try to run the offense out there that he wants, and then once he started the ball snap, he's realizing he's just not getting that. And he's still going to keep trying it, and eventually it just stops, and we got to go back to doing what we're good at. But I think the slow starts have mainly been on the defensive side. I feel like every single game, we.
Uh-oh, did I lose you in the South Bend hurricane or what? Hello, caller,
game plan or? Hello?
Yeah, I got you. I lost you for a second. You're back.
Okay. Game, then have to pivot. Team like.
All right. Got to let you go. Give me a call back when you're out of the South Bend cell service. Then if I at 757, you're coming up. If I had a voice, I would yell about the South Bend cell service that this guy's going through right now. I'm telling you, you get anywhere near that city, you can't hear anybody on the phone. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh, my voice is coming back enough to yell about it. It's absolutely brutal and terrible. I hate it every time I try and talk. It's bad, dude. I get across the state line back to Illinois and I have 98 missed text messages. It's unbelievable. You cross that line and then you get your messages. 757. Let's see if we have better luck. What's going on?
John, good evening. I'm in the car, so me and my son were at the game. Vibes are pretty good. Concur with the previous caller. A little bit of a slow start. Really encouraged to see the passing game develop. Angeli was warming up on the sidelines. I don't know what they showed on the TV. It was looking like he was going to come in after that last scoring drive. But I think overall, slow start excluded, we got to be pretty positive about how the guys are looking after the bye.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm always going to complain and be frustrated about slow starts because you're not going to be able to overcome them every week. You know, however, really, really good job to start building some confidence, blowing somebody out. And I know the game isn't over, but like there is a confidence that comes when you absolutely pound somebody that you can't gain doing anything else. So I really like the fact that they're ganging up on somebody here and seeing more of what that feels like. And I like that it's at home because we haven't been playing great at home, and I love it. So good job.
Hey, you mentioned a couple weeks back, concur on the stadium, like hype up lady, not a fan, and they do need to work on the stadium soundtrack as far as the music they play. So, get on the TV copy. I don't know if you necessarily see that, but
dude, you could hear it. Oh, you could hear do 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 do. You could hear it. It's just I don't know how it's bad. I don't know how they pick those songs. I don't know who sits there and is like, you know what, 87,000 people want to get pumped up to Techno Polka. That's the song we need to play in every big moment. Whoever came up with that idea should not be in charge of any music anywhere. Not a funeral, not a wedding, not a family picnic.
Hey, how legit did the penalties look that took away the Morrison and the Watts?
I don't know. People are complaining about it all day, about some that went our way, some that didn't go our way. It was very inconsistent. And the other thing nobody likes is, why do you throw flags and then you meet up and then you're like, oh, we threw the flag, we saw something, and then they're like, oh, never mind, we're gonna pick it up. I don't like that either. They did that a few times.
Yeah. I don't know. So open the game, kicks back off here for too long. But just call in. Appreciate the show, John, and looking forward to the guys finishing strong.
Oh, beautiful, man. Hey, take care, man. It should be a good rest of the night for football, too. Got a couple more callers here. So, yeah, V1 Rotate. Give me a call back when you're out of there and you actually have some better service. Oh, let's take a look. And I'm a little delayed on the ESPN app. Try and get some updates. 34-3 Texas over Oklahoma. USC up on Penn State. That's really, really interesting. Look at Cal trying to beat Pitt here. Oh, these games tonight are going to be interesting. 301, let's have a little fun. And then Andrew, I got you after 301. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
John, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. I got to tell you, it's really a nice change of pace to just kind of, even though the game isn't over, to just kind of feel like we're up by a lot and it's not going to come down to the last minute and you put it on somebody and you're kicking the crap out of somebody. Feels good.
Yeah, I think so I agree with one of the last callers. I think the offense has actually been called really well because what did we say going in the bye? We want to see Riley Leonard throw the ball out a little bit more. He's been doing that this game. They took some shots. I think Bull Collins dropped the big pass, and then he let the other one get ripped from him. I'm surprised the tight ends haven't been as involved. Mitch Evans still without a catch this game so far. And it seems like Eli Raridan has been in a lot more as well than Mitch Evans. So I'm a little surprised by that. I think the defense has been flat, but I also understand Onye not in the game. They're a little bit weak in terms of depth up the middle right now.
Yeah, I mean, that defense is just, they got a bunch of injuries, like a bunch. And okay, so look at this. If you're going to look at look at some of the receiving. Okay, so Raridan got in the end zone today, so that's terrific. You wanted to see them get more involved. So you got him getting.
I think it's 7 or 8 receivers got the ball.
Yep, I think they said it was on the TV copy. They said at one point it was 8 or 9, I think, receivers. And so look at this. You got Eli Raridan getting in the end zone. We've been waiting for that. You have Jaden Thomas with the reception for a touchdown. And then you also had Chris Mitchell with a receiving touchdown. That, I don't care if you're playing a bad team. And I know Stanford's bad and they're down and they're banged up. I don't care. We needed to build confidence through the air. This is a step in that direction for those guys to be able to catch touchdown passes. And what do we got? Give me a second. 229 yards passing for Riley Leonard. It's not the air raid lighting the world on fire, but it's progress for Notre Dame. It's progress for where Notre Dame was.
But that's the thing. Like, so many people are like complaining right now. Like, why aren't we just running it down their throats? It's like, what have we been saying for the last 5 games? We've been needing to air it out to stretch defenses to show that you go ahead and load the box against us. Now we'll take our one-on-ones on the outside, and we can show now that we're confident and we can actually beat you for a change. And so this builds that confidence we need going down the stretch.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. And I knew if you looked up the numbers, their pass defense numbers were really, really bad, whatever. So they were just bad. And I wrote about all week, can Notre Dame take advantage of this? Maybe it's an opportunity to get that passing game going and get some confidence going, get some of these guys involved that have not been as involved as they want to be in the pass game. That is all good news. It's good news. Notre Dame just needs to keep winning, and they're going to do it. And it's just a really, really good sign in the right direction. Everything isn't smooth as we want it, but you just got to keep winning every week. Kick the crap out of somebody. You gain confidence when you beat somebody's ass.
Exactly. In this second half, it's not going to be the cakewalk that people think it is. Like, Army and Navy are actually both pretty legit, and Virginia is actually a decent team as well. Georgia Tech is a decent team as well. So it's not just like, oh, we just have USC left. It's like, no, there's actually some hurdles here. So we actually have to be really balanced. We do have to build up our passing game because it's going to come in handy at some point down this road.
Dude, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because I realize that Georgia Tech game could be very tricky in its own right. But you and I both know if you mess around against Navy and Army when they're good, you're in big, big trouble. You go 3 and out a couple times, let them eat up 8 or 9 minutes of a quarter with the ball. That's how you lose to Army or Navy. And if they could pass
you're not getting that ball back.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's like, dude, I've heard people be like, well, what are the odds that you think Navy and Army's defense is going to stop Notre Dame or whatever? They don't have to. Notre Dame is capable of stopping Notre Dame. You don't even need a defense sometimes. Like we're capable of stalling our own drive. So, like, I'm sorry. Like, oh boy, I'm just telling you, it's on my radar, bro.
Clemson, but did you see that Florida State Clemson game like a week ago? And damn it to be Florida State, the one game they actually play up to their talent will be the game they play against Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's in my mind. It's in my mind. It would be so Notre Dame-y for everybody to sleepwalk in there and figure they're down and out, blah, 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 blah. And then they rise up. Like, it would be really Notre Dame-y in an uncomfortable way.
I still feel like we're going to, like, my personal belief is we're going to win out, but there's going to be some ups and downs. And we need this passing game to develop. So all the people being like, why don't we run the ball down their throats? Like, this is the part of our offense we need to build upon. And so I'm all for it right now. I do think Angeli will play the fourth quarter. My hope is, if you remember the last time we had a weather delay and there's a story of Audric Estime eating the hot dog, during that time, and he came out and had a touchdown in the first play. I just hope they don't come out flat right now. I just want them to still have the same energy coming out, even if it's in Angeli in, finish strong, and then move on to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it's and listen, this team is not great. The whole idea is just to build confidence. And if you're coming out of the extended break, the extra bye week, and pile it on somebody and gain confidence. I'm not saying because it looks like you're going to beat Stanford that you're going to the Super Bowl. I realize they're not a good team, but Notre Dame needs more games like this where you build and you kick the crap out of somebody and you get ahead of them like this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think that, and as Goolsby says all the time, it's those you're talking about the slow start in the previous caller. I think those Notre Dame day games against an opponent that, even if there is a semi-rivalry there, blah, 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 and they beat you a couple years ago in a similar situation, Like, it's still hard to get up after mass and after,
Yeah.
like all those things. But I do think that what we're seeing is actually all positive. We're Notre Dame fans, so we're always going to critique. We're always going to, think that we ought to be doing something different than what we're doing. But I do think what we're seeing right now is good, and we should, praise it and move on to the next game. And hopefully we have a good ending to this game as well. But yeah, that's all, man. I hope that you're doing well.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yep, it's just feels good to pile it on somebody. So good job. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Have a good one. Oh, let's see what's going on. People are saying the game's going to start back up. When is this supposed to happen? Are we doing a game watch? What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, what's up, John? How are you, brother?
I'm doing better, man. I feel like the worst of my voice situation's behind me, so that's good. It was a rough listen the other day, so I'm just glad I got some of it's coming back.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I thought because I swear everybody's gotten sick. I thought maybe you were sick, but it sounds like you just lost your voice. So good, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, man. Seasonal something or other. I don't know. Andrew, what do you make of this? A little bit of a slow start here in true Notre Dame fashion, but then they pile it on a team they should pile it on. The offense is throwing it around a little bit more. That's good to see. It's not perfect, but it's really, really good to see what's going on.
Yeah, I have to admit that after the I was like, steam was coming out of my ears. I was just like, I can't believe this crap that they're doing this again.
Yeah.
But no, they totally rebounded and really didn't love the play calling of the first drive. Just come out and totally fling it because I just think I hear what you're saying, John. You and that last caller was totally right that you've got to establish some sort of passing game, or else you're just not going to beat anybody good. But I've always felt that Notre Dame, like with Riley Leonard, it has to be more like what Michigan did last year with J.J. McCarthy, which is you don't need to throw it 40 times, but you do need to hit explosive plays. And I think that's what they've ultimately done. So I think there's a lot to be happy about in terms of this game. I'm very happy about it. And I also think that it was really smart of Denbrock, or if it was McCullough, who I've been critical of lately, to give JD Price like some full-on series, to like actually establish himself, because that I truly think that the two best players on offense, other than Leonard, are Love and Price, and it's just like Price is on the sideline far too much, and so I think that it was really smart to establish him on that touchdown drive where they fed him the ball and they weren't subbing him out constantly and stuff like that, so he can actually like get into a rhythm. So I thought that was really important building. And then I have to admit, even though Collins has had a really good game, maybe his best game at Notre Dame, I just wonder, and I'd love your opinion on this. He does a lot of good things, but is he a net negative? And the reason why I say is like he dropped a lot of passes. He got stripped on that fumble, and it just I don't know. I'm not the biggest Bo Collins fan, so maybe that's a hot take. But
look at it. Look at it this way. If you want a Bo Collins on the high end, he made the one play you kind of had to make against A&M to get down the field in the passing game when he fought and won that battle. There you go, man. Set us up for the game-winning thing in the game of the year we needed to have. Like I'll give him that at least. And the other thing is inconsistent, yes, but what hasn't been with the whole operation offensively, right? Like Anthony Knapp's fighting for his life. He's struggling out there. Riley Leonard's still like skipping some passes sometimes. Like it has been a struggle across the board. And I don't know who to blame it on, but I think everybody's probably a little frustrated with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that it's all good points by you there. And maybe I'm being a little too hard on Collins, but I just he's sort of an enigma because he's one of the only guys who can make plays, but he definitely is going to screw too. So I think you just got to understand what he is. He's not going to be, he's not going to just be this all-time receiver, but he has made plays, so I'm not going to sit there and criticize him all day.
Yeah, but
and then even on Anthony, go ahead. Yeah,
as we've talked about, man, the Notre Dame receiving situation is really. It's really in a rough spot. Like it's not where anybody wants it to be. Oh, everybody's, what are you turning it down to listen to Freeman? He's talking right now. What's he gonna tell you that you didn't already know? Like, come on, people. Seriously, what do you think Freeman's gonna tell you? Well, we hope this time we start out better than we did starting every game here. What's he gonna tell you? You don't already know.
Totally. I will say that Knapp has struggled, but he sealed the Jeremiah Love touchdown run. That was all Anthony Knapp. He sealed that block, and Love took it to the house. So he's a true freshman. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's okay. So now people are saying the game's no longer on NBC. Where's the game at? Peacock? They move it all over to Peacock or what?
Oh man. Come on.
No, I'm serious. People are saying it's NBC's not showing it. Is it exclusively flipped over to Peacock so they could prepare the night game they want to play on NBC? Is that what's going on here? We're getting kicked out. Interesting. That's not ideal.
Well, I just and I'll let you get to other callers if you need to, but I guess UXC just threw a pick.
Oh boy,
man, interesting. But maybe I think Penn State will at least have a Hail Mary attempt to try to win it. But hey, I just think that, hey, come on. I could be so critical of Notre Dame, but they're winning by 35 points now. They handle business. I think that Stanford is not a very good football team, obviously, but they're a well-coached football team. Troy Taylor is I think he's going to be the real deal, and I bet you he will eventually turn Stanford around. But this is a total sleepy, could have done what we've seen Notre Dame do for, all these different times, but they came out and they dominated. So I think everybody should be happy. He threw the ball. I think that the caller does make a good point. It is troubling that tight ends just are totally non-existent. I know Eli, I think it was Raritan who caught a touchdown pass there at the end. That's nice to see, so I'd like to see them being factored into it. But this is a really positive effort. Howard Cross played his ass off today.
Yeah.
I mean, he made so many plays. And then a lot of people want to give, what's his name, the other defensive tackle, a lot
Mills.
of crap. He played really well. And Mills, he played really well. And he even got injured and came right back in and made plays. So, not a lot to criticize at all in this game. And in terms of the refs, it's I think the refs mainly got the calls right, in my opinion. But so I'm not going to make a big beef out of that. But I just think, again, I'm going to go back to my point of it's so important to establish Jadarian Price. You need this guy to be in the right headspace if we're going to run the table. He's your second best player on offense, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
Keep giving him full drive so he can get into a rhythm. Otherwise, you're just wasting one of the most talented people on the offense. So,
yeah, it's I don't know, Andrew. Every week we're stressed out about it, but you just got to keep winning. And if you could blow somebody out like this, it's got to build you confidence, doesn't it, Andrew? Even if it's against a team you're favored by 23.5 over. Nothing builds confidence quite like kicking the crap out of somebody, even if you're expected to do it. So I'm glad to see him do it.
Well, and what's interesting, and I think it was Tim Hyde who brought this up. So what, Notre Dame, what was their record when they lost to Northern Illinois? Was it 1-1 at that point, or were they 2-1? I can't recall. But the reason why I'm asking is Marcus Freeman has never had more than a 5-game winning streak. So now we're up to what this would put us at a 4-game winning streak. So can he keep it rolling? And then now you've sort of got a weird schedule too, because they've been at home or in the state of Indiana for several weeks, and so now they're going to finally go on the road a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's see if he can keep this team engaged and actually get because I think that's the thing. Get to a 6-game winning streak, so you can actually get your team going for that amount of time, and then that actually might build confidence in the fan base that you could actually run the table. So
it's I'll tell you this, Andrew. You listen, there are injury concerns too. Like you're limited in some. There's so many injuries. It's just you're going to be limited in some of what you want to do. But the goal is to keep that only one loss, as long as possible. And you're doing that. And so you just got to kind of keep doing that, no matter what it looks like. Win by a lot, win by a little, whatever. You just got to keep doing that. And so good job, I guess. Good job.
Yeah, good job. And the other thing that I worry about, and I would love your opinion on this, is Xavier Watts like our Cal Ripken? Does that guy ever leave the field? Like, it's a little concerning, like how many plays that guy has to play, because I think our safety depth is like non-existent. Like, I know Kennedy Urlacher had a few nice form tackles against Purdue, but I think it's those safeties never leave the field. So it's like I actually think almost, because like Morrison to me is like the most important person on defense, because if he goes down, you got true freshmen playing. But to be quite honest with you, those safeties are probably the most important players on the team. Like, you need those guys to be healthy. And I think for how much these guys play, especially in garbage time, it's indicative of we don't have very much behind them, at least now. So so keep. I would put bubble wrap around Xavier Watts. So like, we can't afford that guy to go down. Yeah,
it's the back part of this schedule is going to get so interesting, Andrew. You got both the military academies like having better years than usual. You're not quite sure what you're going to get out of like FSU and the shape they're in, and then who knows about whatever USC is going to be. There's just some really kind of weird situations coming up on the back end of this schedule, and it's just going to be really interesting to see them play out.
Definitely, man. Well, I don't know. Seems like some people in the chat still want to bitch, but it's like we're up 42-7. What more do you want, man? We're covering. So.
Andrew, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The things that I want to complain about, they're not just going to go away at this point. Like, that's the realization that I'm at, like with some of the injury stuff and the limitations on offense, and some of this just isn't going to go away. Like, in the slow starts at home, I'll never understand. But like some of the complaints are just, they're going to be here the rest of the year, and you're going to have to work around them and be frustrated. That's a realization I've had over the last month or so. And it's frustrating, but that's just kind of where this group is at.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to say that Stanford's a quality team. They're not. I think that they're actually quite bad, even though they beat Syracuse. I watched that whole game, and I thought Stanford actually looked pretty decent. But maybe they're very thin as well. But they're taking care of business. This is a taking care of business kind of way. Like, yeah, okay, you start slow. I thought the play calling was really bizarre, that you just come out and just throw it around. Like, I think I don't even know if they ran it on their first drive. So, but it is what it is. The second drive that he made adjustments, and it was like the perfect drive. So it shows that I've been very critical of Denbrock, but because he's able to make some adjustments. So there's nothing to complain about on this one. And then Josh Burnham, Jesus, he looked like Joey Bosa on that play.
So like, athletic, such an athletic play. It's like the JOK Stanford play, or Clemson play, right? Remember, kind of the similar thing, and he brought it to the house. And you got to be real athletic, nice and long and heavy. There's a lot to love about that. Same as a offensive lineman catching a pass and running it for a first down. You don't see that on that is not on the Always Irish bingo card. I didn't have that one on there.
Man, that should have been an interception, but that was actually hilarious, because not only did he catch it, he got the first down too. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So I don't know, man. It's good for the passing game a little bit, Andrew, even though like we know we're not great at it. Good for them to build some confidence, have some other guys get in the end zone for once, and just to be able to do it a little bit against anybody.
How about Jeremiah Love actually catching a ball in the slot? Like, I don't even think, like, why do you even have to motion him out? Like, he's like he is your best player on offense. like, I'm just surprised that Denbrock doesn't sometimes just come out with Price at running back and just put Jeremiah Love in the slot. Like,
Yeah.
what are we waiting for here? you know what I mean? It's like, and I talk about because I'm from San Diego, and I watched a lot of like LaDainian Tomlinson, and like for how bad of a coach North Turner was as a head football coach, when he was like an offensive coordinator for the Chargers, like he used LaDainian Tomlinson like in all aspects of the game, because he's like at that time it was just LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates. That was it, and it's just like I don't know. I don't understand why Denbrock doesn't just like. I would use if I was the OC, I would just like have my whole offense around Love and Price, because I just think they're the best players and they're the most explosive. I just don't get why we don't see that more, because he catches a bubble screen and takes it for 20 yards. Like, why not do that 3 or 4 times a game? He might kick it for 80 yards sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it.
Those two are clearly like they're your two best players, and it's really, really obvious. Like, they're the two spark plugs that make everything go. Okay, so it looks like Angeli's in, people are saying. Interesting.
Is it on Peacock right now?
Yeah, I guess it's on Peacock or CNBC. People are saying if you get CNBC.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's real good. The Notre Dame network there, and you just get bumped right off. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No respect. Bumped right off.
Second-class citizens now, because they're always midday. They're never in prime time. I guess what they'll have one primetime game. Just weird. They really like now like the stepchild of the NBC network, and even the panel is sort of anti Notre Dame. Have you noticed that? Like,
it's weird.
They picked Louisville to beat Notre Dame, that crew. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh man. So I don't know. We'll see what happens the rest of the way here, man. I got to figure out, Andrew, whether I just live on here the whole time or ride it out or start a new stream when it's over. I don't know what I'm going to do.
All right. Well, good luck with that, man. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it, dude.
Yep. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the football the rest of the way, the rest of the weekend. USC failed to score in OT. Ooh, baby. Let's see. That's a problem, isn't it? That is a problem for SC. Whew. All right, you guys, here's what we're going to do. Let's go watch the end of the game, and then I'll fire up a new stream after the game, and we'll catch all the people who didn't realize they did this during the game. That's what we'll do. So I'm going to go watch the end of some of these other games, watch some of our stuff. I'll fire up a new link, and then we'll try and do this. We'll try and do it after the actual game ends. So look for a new link, and we'll come back on, and we'll hit all the normal crowd on the way out. But I just figured, why not go live if we're just sitting here during the break? So I'll fire up another link, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you right after the game this time. See ya. Thanks.